Have you ever played a game that had great dialogue all the way through where everything was voiceovered and spoken and just kind of flowed well and went together? I actually got to work on a game like that for quite a while and it was a blast. That was EverQuest 2, and we had a ton of dialogue in there, at least initially. The reason for that is that it really just adds a lot of immersion to the game. If you've played games like that, you really know what it's like. Like, you get in, you walk up to an NPC, and instead of just reading some text, you're actually hearing what they're saying. You're getting a little bit of tone and inflection and a little bit more to the story. I feel like it kind of brings it together more like a movie instead of just like a game. But you don't see that very often in games, and there's a big reason for it. That reason is that it's generally really expensive and really hard to do. There are two really difficult problems there. The first is just the cost. I remember on EQ2, we spent some insane amount of money. I mean, I shouldn't say we, I didn't spend the money. It wasn't my money, and it was spent before I got there. But the money spent on voiceovers was something relatively large. I believe it was an astronomically large figure in the many seven figures. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know we spent a lot on voiceovers to get it down, to make it sound right, and to flesh out an entire game. You got to remember, when you have a big RPG full of quests and NPCs everywhere, and towns full of NPCs and, bartenders and ironsmiths and all the other stuff. You've got to put voiceovers on all those things. Suddenly it gets to be a lot. And it just takes a ton of money, a ton of voices, and a ton of back and forth. That's the other hard part, is getting the voiceovers in, getting them right, and adjusting them. So say you've got a voiceover in and you want to change the text a little bit. Maybe this quest was go kill 20 crocodiles. Now it's go kill 20 alligators, or whatever the change is. Obviously, your changes are probably going to be varied. Some will be tiny, some will be huge. But no matter what it is, if you have your voiceovers there recorded, you're going to have to go back, redo the voiceover, have that same person reread it, try to get it into the same kind of tone and inflection that they were in when they were recorded the first time, and that's very difficult. Anyway, you get the idea. It's not easy to just go in and change and cut and edit in voices or anything like that. You've really got to have a good workflow to it. So it's not something that I generally recommended people put into their games, at least not until now. Something has changed, and I became aware of a really cool new tool that, well, just kind of changed the game for me. Made it so that I think I would recommend voiceovers in almost anything. If you can put voiceovers in it with this tool, you can just drop them in there and it's not going to cost you anything, or not going to cost you very much. I highly recommend you at least take a look at it and try it out. So, what's the tool? Why am I talking about this? Well, it's this tool called Replica Studios, and I think that's actually the company name. They sent me a demo of their stuff a while back, and I've been kind of wanting to talk about this ever since I first saw it, and just waiting until the time was right, going through a whole bunch of other stuff and letting their product mature while I get some familiarity with it and start integrating it into some of my own things. And now that I'm at that point where I feel comfortable with it and I've been really impressed with it, I'm ready to just talk about it and share it. And I also just want to mention, this is not like a sponsored video or anything. It's just another really cool tool that I think is worth trying out and worth everybody knowing about, so that you can just add in voiceovers to your game for free. I mean, who doesn't want to just add in cool stuff to their game when it takes almost no work? And it's really, really cool. So today I'm going to run you through the steps to integrate it into your project. It's extremely simple. There's really not much to it. It's just a tool that generates the files for you and you can pull them right in. And then I'll show you just what it looks like in action, I guess, because I think it's pretty neat and you can see how cool it is, and just talk a little bit more about voiceover. So that's where we're going with this. If you're interested in that, which I assume you are because I've been blabbing for a long time and you're still here, make sure that you've hit the like button, the thumbs up, the subscribe, the alert, and all of that stuff. Also, if you're really interested in this stuff, make sure that you check out the link in the description below for the course that I'm teaching, which goes into building an RPG, including dialogue, voiceovers, and a whole lot more. This is just a tiny little part of the types of things that we'll cover in there. Anyway, let's get started with it. So I had mentioned that the tool was Replica Studios. Let me pull it up right now. This is their main website at replicastudios.com, and you can kind of scroll through and get an idea of what it is they do and what they're compatible with. They've got Unity, Unreal, and Roblox integration, but I mean, really, it's MP3 files and OGG files. It'll work with anything. It doesn't really matter. The integration is just some tools to make it a little bit faster. You can hear some of the voices and check them out, or you can go create your account and then sign in. Once you sign in, you can download the tool, and that's what we're going to be using. So I'm going to open up the tool right here and just show you what it looks like. So in the tool, they've got a dashboard that's got some new information. It looks like new info about the plugins and some stuff about their Discord server. I don't use either of those, so I'm not going to talk about either of them, but they're there for you if you want to dive into them, I guess. I'm going to go into the sandbox and the voice library. So the voice library, I'll check that out first because it lets you play a bunch of the voices and see what they sound like without using up any of your credits. And you can see on the top right corner here, I've got 28 minutes and 23 seconds left. That's because when I write out my dialogue, I just think about what I actually want to use. I don't write out anything extra and I only generate what I'm going to use. So I haven't used that much. If I wrote out a long story, obviously this wouldn't be anywhere near what it's at because I got 30 minutes for free. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning, right? I think it comes with 30 minutes for free as their current plan. Yes, let's try today with 30 minutes of free voice credit. And then their paid plan after that is relatively cheap too. We'll talk about that after. I'm not sure what their prices are at, but I remember they were low enough that I was just kind of blown away in comparison to hiring a voice actor or just trying to do it myself. So let's scroll through and hear some of the voices real quick.
Hi, I'm Amber. I have an American accent, and
Okay.
Look, I've already told you.
Might I ask why you have come to Agatha?
Connected by a central atrium. Each wing extends in.
And more important,
You might be noticing that there's a bit of a variety here. Some of these have like humanoid looking or normal human looking people, like real pictures of people. And others are cartoon characters where they're set up to be more like a role playing game or something that might fit better into a game. And these ones, the ones that are marked with beta that are cartoon characters, these tend to be the ones that I think are the best for video games currently.
Oh, that's cute. Come on. A bunch of us are heading to Artie's.
There aren't too many women in this town who can make me blush.
Now you can hear there's a bit of just different character variety there, but if you scroll through, there are a whole ton of them. There are a lot of different characters, and the ones that you're gonna find that are really unique are again gonna be these ones that are more like the cartoons, like the Sergeant.
All right, listen up. I'm in charge.
Now let me show you something else cool in here though, because it's not like you just get to go through and pick these voices and make them play stuff. If we go to the sandbox section, this is where it's fun. And then we go choose a voice. Let's say I'm going to delete out all my other takes real quick and just select a speaker. I'm just deleting them to clear that out. This whole thing was full of all my old stuff. But if I go select a speaker, and then I go down here to number of styles to see that if I choose something like 3+, I'm going to start getting all of the cartoon characters. These are the ones that, again, I think are, I say cartoon, but like video game characters. The ones that I think are just better in a game that are really made and set up for a game. Like we go through and just
Hello, stranger. Needing a new set of armor, are ya?
like pick one
I
of these.
mainly-
And when it says styles, what it means is if I select gray, I can use his happy style and say something like, "Hello, Jason. This is an amazing video. I just hit thumbs up." And I can let's hit play.
Hello, Jason. This is an amazing video. I just hit thumbs up.
Or maybe we could change this. Let's make him afraid, get him scared, and then put in some new text here and play that out.
Oh no, Jason. This video is already 8 minutes. I'm afraid it's going to end soon.
Oh, that's pretty scary, but I want to show a little bit more first before we wrap this up. So let's go switch to another voice. I'm going to choose one of the female voices this time. Let's go for the one that looks like a little lich. What was her name? Lilith? There we go. I'm going to use her, and we'll try something out on her. She's got a seductive style, an angry style, and a fear style. Let's do the fear style first. Say, I'm afraid you haven't hit the subscribe button yet. I don't know. SUBSCRIBE. There we go. I'll spell that right. And then I hit play. And again, you should hear it.
I'm afraid you haven't hit the subscribe button yet.
Oh, you're terrifying her. Let's see if she can maybe seduce you, though. Say, please hit that now. And we'll switch the style here from fear to seductive. And then I want to show you one other cool part of it before we hit play, though. Let's select the please hit that now part and just change maybe the pitch or the speech rate. Let's change it down so that it's a little bit slower. So say it at 80% speed. Hit play.
I'm afraid you haven't hit the subscribe button yet. Please hit that now.
There you go. Now, if we wanted to save that, we just hit save take. We can download our file. It'll just come down as an MP3. So hit download right here. I can choose MP3, OGG, or a WAV. I'll just pick an MP3, but remember the file type that you need is going to depend on your project. So get whatever it is that you're using in your actual games. And then we can simply play these clips in our game. Now, how you play that is going to depend completely up to your game, but generating these clips is no longer a giant task. You don't need millions of dollars. You don't need a whole pipeline and a whole bunch of people or a long task, or you don't need to sit here and try to make up voices like, please hit the subscribe button. It's not going to work if I try to be seductive. So I can't do it. I got to hit these buttons instead. And I recommend that everybody just kind of try this out or try out something else. If you have another voiceover solution that you recommend, please let me know. And if you're looking for other like random voiceovers, things that you can't do here, one of the options or two of the best options that I found for that are Upwork and Fiverr. I found some really great voiceover artists on Upwork who just make awesome stuff. I give them a list of things and they can read it off and make it sound great in voices that maybe I can't get from a tool like this. And then the same kind of thing with Fiverr. You can find people who can make all kinds of cool voices. There are probably other great places for getting voiceovers too. If you happen to know any of those and want to share them, please let me know. And also, if you've used this tool at all, let me know. I'm kind of curious what everybody else's experience with it is. So far, it's been great for me, and I really like it. And I'm just blown away by the pricing as well. I mean, just looking here, 4 hours of credit is only $25. I couldn't get 4 hours of voiceover for $25 ever. Not even close. Like, I mean, it's usually a couple dollars a minute to get voiceover. So this is amazingly cheap, and I don't know, it's kind of game changing for me. So I hope that this was helpful for you, and it's something that you can use in the future. If so, make sure that you actually do hit the like button, the subscribe, and the share. And again, if you want to get deeper into game development and stuff, you want to learn how to integrate some of these things into bigger projects, feel free to check out the links for the course down below as well. All right, thanks again for watching, and
Please hit that like button.